occasional token man about how their passion and purpose have collided to create profitable businesses and strong relationships. I'm Elizabeth Denham. I am the publisher of the Franchise Women magazine, and I am here with Rebecca Monet, Chief Scientist and President of Zoracle Profiles. How are you today, Rebecca?
I'm fabulous. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday. It's a good day to do a podcast, right?
It's a good day, even though it's an odd day for us, because normally we do this on Wednesday, but that's okay. Hey, we're flexible, right?
Yes, we're adaptable people, as we like to say.
We are. We're adaptable. So let's talk about roses and thorns. And I'm throwing it to you first because I want to hear what your thorn or your rose is this week.
Okay, so I have a rose that has to do with parenting adult children, which is, I guess, an oxymoron if they're adults and children at the same time, which it happens. But they are all forging their paths, and they're all very smart, independent. They make good choices, but occasionally they move along too quickly in a relationship, or they don't end one soon as I think they should, and having it be their decision and staying out of it while still offering parental advice and what my husband and I think of as wisdom. I don't think they always think it's wisdom. It's, you're married, or it's a different time, or whatever. There's always a reason why we're not quite as wise as we think we are. Mm-hmm. So navigating that balance can be a challenge, and because you don't want them to ever feel like you're judging them in who they are. You right. want to support them in their decisions, and mostly we've been very lucky with teenagers and young adults that they have made good decisions, and they've been successful, and they are driven, and they are out to make the world better than they
and better they came than it into was. It with yeah.
So I'm very proud of all of them, but there are those times where you worry or hesitate or wonder how much advice you should give, because ultimately the decisions are theirs, and letting them navigate those, and then hoping for the best. And if it's not, then you support them through the worst, which I've done at different times mm-hmm. with different children.
Yep.
It's hard. And hopefully they will all make great choices and all of their lives will work out great. But we all know it's a thorny world out there.
Well, and did it for us? I mean, we made a whole bunch of mistakes in our life. And my guess is some wise elder also guided us.
Oh, I have very specific memories of being told I was making gigantic mistakes and not listening.
No, me too. It's really hard. You just hope that you've laid a foundation in place, a good solid belief systems and value systems that they can make their choices by. But ultimately, like you said, they're adults, and hopefully you're not, the face doesn't give you away. You can stay in kind of a neutral place.
I'm not very good at that.
Me either. My face
I'm terrible
gives me
at
away.
That. Yeah. That's a problem.
You're going to do what?
Mm-hmm. Well, and sometimes my desire to have a stoic, very motionless face give me away, because they know that if I'm not expressing something that's really
holding back
a lot. Yeah.
You're holding back.
Yeah. So I think the rose that goes along with that is that I have kids who are willing to talk to us. They don't keep a lot of secrets. I'm sure they don't tell us every detail, but they are very willing to communicate with us and talk through things. So I feel lucky that we have those relationships. And then I have a little tiny rose. I just looked over at my husband who's working right there, and he wears my readers. And I said, do you want me to buy you some readers that are men's readers? He's like, nah, it's okay. So he goes around wearing my little purple ones and my little red ones. Aww. And I don't know why that makes me happy, but I get a kick out of it. That's my little rose for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, some connection there. Oh my God.
So what about you? What have you experienced this week?
So I got to tell you this. Normally I work on weekends, and this weekend I decided to be a couch potato and just recoup from the amount of hours I've been putting in. But all of a sudden I started to notice that, I haven't been on a date, and I don't know how long. And, building a business, I've been focused on building a business. And I told myself come the first of the year, I was going to put myself back out there and start to date again. And then, as you know, I broke my femur, and that kind of has me down. And then straight from the broken leg, I go into pandemic. And all of a sudden I woke up this weekend and I'm going, when was the last time I went on a date? I'm like, this is just horrible. I can't believe that here I am, being a couch potato when I could be, enjoying the company of a fine man. So that's my thorn. That's my thorn. The pandemic, this broken leg, all the things getting in the way of love, right? It just seems wrong.
Well, so what are we going to do about it?
I don't even know how to begin.
Well,
I thought you would just come knocking on my door.
Yeah. I had to give a friend of mine a lecture about that a few years ago and say, he doesn't drop out of the sky. You actually have to put yourself out there. So she did online dating and married the third guy she wanted to date with. It took me 8 years to meet the one I married. But she married
I don't have
the
8 years. I'll be in a nursing home in 8 years. So I don't have 8 years, Elizabeth. How are you?
Well, luckily you have a relationship expert on your hands, according to John Tesh.
All right, so clue me in, girl.
So we are putting it on the calendar for Monday. We're going to get you out there.
Get me out there dating, huh?
Absolutely. So everybody needs to stay tuned for the Rebecca report.
The update. Oh no! Now I'm going to really feel pressure.
I know. Okay. Well, good.
Who's she seeing? Does she have a date? What's she do?
Exactly.
Okay,
we'll have to keep the viewers informed. Help me. Great. That's a plan. That's a good little. That's your rose. You have a solution.
All right, I'm in. Holding on for dear life, but I'm in.
That's hilarious. All right, well, I'm excited. I'm going to prepare all weekend.
Okay, thank you for being my cheerleader.
All right, well, on that note, everyone stay tuned for Rebecca's dating saga to be announced at a future date. It won't be a saga. It will be a love story.
It'll be a love story.
It will be a love story.
Once upon a time in a faraway land, there lived a young lady. That kind of story. That's what I want.
Exactly. Who in the middle of the pandemic was able to find love.
Happy ever after. ...
I love it. All right. Well, that was a fun one. I'm excited about your future.
Me too.
So we will be back next week with more Roses and Thorns. So stay tuned for more.